What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Countdown Scouting Network. I'm your host, like always, Joey Garcia, and today we are going to be looking over the Cleveland Browns 2023 draft class. We'll be giving it a grade and kind of talking about some of the players. So let's get into it. All right, so their first pick was in the third round because they traded for Deshaun Watson. So their first pick was pick number 73. This was Cedric Tillman, wide receiver from Tennessee. I really like this pick. I thought if Cedric Tillman didn't get injured this year, he was dealing with a hamstring and also, I believe, an ankle injury and fighting through it for half of the year. And the other half, he obviously was sidelined from that injury. I thought he'd probably be one of those guys that are talked about after the first four. So you had Quentin Johnston, JSN, Zay Flowers, and Jordan Addison as those first four that got drafted in the first round. I think he would be right up there as that next guy if he didn't get injured. So he's 6'3", 215 pounds. Again, one of the bigger wide receivers in this class. This is a very small wide receiver class. Um, he's got a good size. He's got really good body control when he's going up and making acrobatic plays, can kind of stop on a dime. But, after that, I guess the one critique you can have for him is that his run after catch ability is not, it leaves much to be desired. But he's not that kind of guy. He's going to be a chains mover, kind of a Keenan Allen, if you want to think of him like that. Obviously, I'm not going to put him up there with Keenan Allen, who's one of the greats that are still playing this game today. But think about someone like that who's strictly going to create enough separation, not an elite separator, but create enough separation, and will really be able to contort his body to make impressive catches. So, all right. Their next pick, they also had another third round pick. It was pick 98. This is Siaki Ika, the defensive tackle from Baylor. I like this pick as well. I give it a B. You know, I thought this is a guy who is going to play nose for you, and he's really athletic and twitched up for the size. He's 6'3", 335 pounds, and honestly, some of it's not great weight. He could shed probably 15, 20 pounds, or you could even put on another 15 pounds if you really wanted to. But you'd probably lose some of that explosiveness. He's already super powerful. So if you do lose about 15 of those pounds, I think you can play him a little bit all over the defensive line. But he he's gonna be a guy who only plays nose at this moment. Maybe one technique in goal line situations, you might push him out to the three, but I think he's mostly gonna be an A gap to A gap guy. He's strong enough to hold guys up in two gap if you need him to. He's also quick enough where he can penetrate through that single gap. The only thing is he's inconsistent. There are some times where he flies through the A gap, and there are other times that he kind of just gets caught by defenders, and it's almost like he's not even going full effort. So that's something that I think probably dropped him down the board a little bit. His arm length is also a little short. So as of now, he's okay with being able to get his hands inside on guys and really use that leverage to extend. But at the NFL level, that's just something to monitor. Their next pick, fourth round pick, DeJuan Jones, offensive tackle. He's a right tackle for Ohio State. He's big. I apologize if you guys can hear my cat. Of course, she always has to get up in these videos. So let's get back to it. He is 6'8", 370 pounds. He can lose a little bit of that weight. You don't want to lose too much of it. But he's got 15 pounds he could lose. He gets down to 355. I think that's perfect because he has really good feet for his size. Again, I think it's a 7'3" wingspan. They measured it at the Senior Bowl. I think it was 7'3" for a 6'8" guy. And that's a true 6'8". His feet are good. I think he's going to be a really good tackle. Just kind of struggles to redirect at times. On stunts, going inside to outside or kick if he's drop stepping a little bit too far, and then a guy comes up over top. Luckily, he's got the arms that I think can kind of counteract that. But his feet aren't the greatest, and he's also sits up a little too high. Again, he's 6'8", so it's hard to redirect with a center of gravity that high. But I guess I thought he was going to be a second round pick. He dropped all the way to the fourth. I guess he didn't interview well. He also didn't show up to he showed up to the combine and didn't work out, and then he said he was going to work out at the pro day. He showed up to the pro day, didn't do anything, and so it kind of just rubbed people the wrong way. So I still like the pick though. The next pick is another fourth rounder. They got Isaiah McGuire, the edge rusher from Missouri. He's 6'4", 270 pounds. He doesn't look 270. I think he could put on a little bit more weight because he's already not really explosive, but he carries the weight well. He's purely just going to be a run defending defensive end. He's got really good motor, and he's always fighting. He's always competitive on one-on-one drills. This is a guy who can be, a first and second down defensive end for you. He doesn't really do much in the pass game, but in holding the edge for outside runs, you think about teams that run wide zone or even toss plays, he's going to hold that edge for you and make sure there's no cutbacks on counters and things like that. So I really like this pick. I think he's going to be someone that can contribute early for them as well. The next pick was a fifth-round pick. They got Dorian Thompson-Robinson, quarterback from UCLA. I like this pick. You think about who they have at quarterback right now, Deshaun Watson. He's about 6'3", 215, 220 pounds. Dorian is not the same height or weight, but he does a lot of the same stuff. He's got good arm talent. He's athletic. He can run the same system as Deshaun Watson can. So again, you're getting a backup who's young that can mold, that can be your backup, and maybe in a couple years you trade him for a second-round pick, like the Patriots usually do, or maybe he steps in 3 years and then you don't have to continue paying Deshaun Watson that contract. Or if Deshaun Watson looks like he kind of did this year, which was not great, I don't know how you're going to get out of the contract because it's fully guaranteed, but they can figure out some way to do that. He's got really high character. If you watched him in Elite 11 years and years and years ago, you could tell then when he was 17 years old that he was a leader and he had good character. And then everything you hear from Chip Kelly and everyone else at the UCLA staff, they really, really like him. He's good in interviews. He impressed. The only real issue is he's just not a developed passer, I guess you would say. He's got accuracy issues and reading defenses that are disguised one way and then switch to another coverage really gets him out of his rhythm and he looks to run. So, but a fifth-round pick, I love it. Another fifth-round pick was Cameron Mitchell from Northwestern. Again, I didn't go too deep on this one. I think he's purely going to be a special teamer for you. Man, I wish I put down some other stuff on here. Obviously, this is one I wanted to go get a little bit more look at because I watched him when they played against Nebraska at the beginning of the year in Ireland, and he caught my eye, but I didn't really watch anything else other than that. So this is one I started with a C+. I was going to minus it or give it a boost if I liked the tape. Didn't watch. Sorry. All right, going to the sixth round. This one really surprised me, and it was one of the ones I thought about putting as my favorite sixth-round picks. Was Luke Whippler, the interior offensive lineman from Ohio State. He played center there. You can move him outside if you want, but I think he's going to be a killer center. I think they still have J.C. Tretter at center, if I'm not mistaken. So he might start out as guard and then move inside to center, but he's really good at working up the level to angles. If you're working an inside zone scheme, he's good at everything like that. Diagnosing blitzes. A lot, you always see him pre-snap pointing out the mic, double teaming with people. He's always got his eyes up in pass block, looking for the extra blitzer, looking for a stunt to come back his way. But he does have a little bit of concerns with, I think his lower body is a little weak. Maybe it's his hips aren't flexible enough. Maybe it's his knees. But his lower body's just a little weak. I think they need to work on that with him. But again, I thought he'd be an early fourth-round pick, late third-round pick. They got him in the sixth, and I don't know why. So very good pick right there. And that was their last pick. So that's the Cleveland Browns. draft class. All in all, for not having a first or second round pick, I really like this draft class. I don't think I didn't understand any of their picks. I think they're planning for the future as well as planning for right now. So, all in all, really good draft class. Next, we will be moving out of the AFC North and we will be going to the West. We're going to be going to the AFC West. We'll start out with the Kansas City Chiefs, of course. So, go ahead and leave a like. Comment down below if you disagree with some of these picks. If anyone has any takes on Cameron Mitchell, the cornerback from Northwestern, go ahead and leave those down there, down below in the comments as well. So I appreciate you guys checking in. We will be back tomorrow with the Kansas City Chiefs. So, peace.